Yes. All right. So I just gotta wait for people to come in, and
Share it on Facebook.
yeah, I'm just making sure the ladybug's not around anyway. Okay. All right. So do I have to just copy the link, and then that's it?
You should have a stream link somewhere.
I did, but I took it off.
Go to your channel, you'll find it there.
Okay.
You'll say that you're live.
All right. So I just have to.
And you are live
Go
right
back.
now, so people
Yes.
can see the video on demand.
Okay.
So
That's
just
fine.
explain to them at the moment you need.
Yeah, I am completely new to live streaming on YouTube. So give me a moment, please. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this, hopefully. So you said go over to my page and it says live now, but what, I have to click on it and then
Or,
I'm sorry, please bear with me.
so right click on the picture and go to copy link address.
Lovely.
Now go to Facebook.
Share it away.
There you go.
We're gonna have some fun. There's so much that I have to show you all, and I hope you enjoy every moment of this. I thought it'd be nice to be out in nature today, so that's kind of what we're doing today. There's so many groups to share it to. Let's see if anyone has. Okay. Hello, just bear with me. I'm just sharing it around, and then I'll get started very shortly. All right. I am live. Lovely. So we'll keep it nice, short, and simple. Just post that around. Oh, come on. So just let me know who's here. And if I know you, I'll have a personal chat. If I don't, just welcome, Thank you for watching me. And hopefully we'll get started very shortly. Trying to get more people to watch, get more engagement. I'm pretty sure you know how that goes. There's so many tips that I have for people to see today. If you can't hear me, let me know. If I'm speaking too softly, I tend to speak softly. So I apologize ahead of time. But do just let me know. Ooh, lovely. Thank you. All right. So even though it says that I will be doing beginner witch tips, of course I'm doing that, but I'm also going to do a bit extra in this live stream. I'll speak to you all about wands. I made my own little rune rocks. Hopefully you can see that well. There we go. So I could talk to you all about that. Talk to you all about some fun sigils and how to create them. Just do a little bit of everything today. Show off my little gemstones and crystal collection, because why not? We're all witches. We all love these things. I do need to buy more. I feel like I've become a lot more of an herbal witch than I have done with like crystals and gemstones, but I still love them. Don't get me wrong. I love them. 2 pieces. My favorite. The fairy crystal. It's a ruby. Fuchsite. But, I'm just waiting. Nip. Um, but yeah, there's just so much to talk about. Waiting for more people. So again, if you are new here, please let yourself be known. Let me welcome you personally. Thank you for showing up. Let's go on Twitter and share this around. Witch. Hashtag baby witch. Um, Alright, we're just gonna hope for the best here. I'm not expecting a very big, audience, but I just figured why not do a live stream because we've reached over 100 subscribers. I'm very excited about that. And of course, it'll be fun to actually show my face every once in a while and just have people interact with me more. So it's just completely up to you on how you want to do things. But if you do end up enjoying stuff like this and you feel like you'll have more questions that you want me to answer personally, just let me know. And I could do more live streams if that's what interests you. But I know that I'm on a different time zone than a lot of my fans, so that doesn't really help. But I always find a way around it. If it has to be like 8 o'clock for me and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're fine, then I'll do it then. I don't have a job currently, so that'll just it doesn't really make much of a difference. But yeah. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I do technically work. I'm just starting out a small business, which I have kind of posted around everywhere, and that's just doing tarot reading and spells for £5 each because I'm in the UK, obviously. But sorry, I get really distracted. That's kind of another reason why I don't do live streams. Even when I do my videos, the editing process takes like sometimes more than 4 hours because I'm just constantly stopping and I lose my train of thought quite a bit. But regardless, I do the tarot readings, I do spells for £5 each. My website is crystallizedwitchery.weebly.com. And there's feedback. It has my backstory of kind of why I started this, why I started charging. Because I didn't used to at first. I used to just help people willy nilly. But again, I don't have a job. And everyone's struggling nowadays. And I also want to make it affordable. I can't just keep on buying herbs without having a job and being able to buy those without a problem. I use a lot of materials in my spell, and that's kind of like what makes it so effective. So, I just, that's the only reason why I'm charging. But if you're interested in that, a lot of people actually argue that it's a little too cheap. But again, I like to make things affordable for people, affordable for both me and the client. So just let me know. Um, Let me just let these people. Let's go over to. I'll let her know. Let's see. There it is. Hopefully that just ends up helping. Hopefully. If people don't start joining within like the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll just start. It's okay. Um, People can always come back to this video, so that's the great thing about live streaming. It's not just a live stream and then it disappears forever. It records, so that's why I don't mind doing them as well. Um, Hopefully, this is accepted in certain groups. I don't have time to be getting kicked out because I want to help people, but we'll just see how that goes. Hello, Sisters Forever. How are you? And if I do know you from like Facebook or something, can I know your actual name or what I might know you as? So it'll make it better to know who I'm speaking to. Um, Hello, Ashley. Okay, I think I know who you are. I know a lot of Ashleys, mind you. I speak to more than 700 people. Sometimes each day. Sometimes I have so many people speaking to me. Ah, gotcha. Thank you very much. I know exactly who you are. It's funny how that's how I know you as, but thank you for joining. I know that it will be best for you to know a lot about Homewood Tree because I'm sure it'll be, you're just starting and it's best to kind of use the stuff you already have around you. Um, I'm gonna have to put maybe like my herbal grimoire and I'll send it to you so it'll help like with any herbs that you might come across. At least you'll know what to do with it. Because every single herb has a purpose. I don't care what anyone says. You could use anything you have in your house. I actually did a video on that. If you want, you could check it out. It's called Home Witchery, and it's even just based off of if you have a garden like the one I'm currently in. You can use anything in your garden that grows, whether it be the grass, and you could turn it into witch's grass, or if it's like little daisies, dandelions that grow almost everywhere. You know. So if you're interested, do check out that video some other time. But yeah, if you know anyone that might enjoy this live stream, please share around. I want to help as many witches as possible with this live stream. So please do share around. Let's see. I shared that to the humble witches. How about UK witches? Oh, okay. Hopefully this is allowed as well. Again, if I'm in like your group or something, on Facebook, because I am on a lot of groups on Facebook, please do not feel like I am just trying to, just get some personal gain off of sharing the things that I do. Because, like I said, I really don't. I just try and help as many people as possible and just, do my best then. But let's get on to the tips. I think we've waited long enough. It's almost been 15 minutes and I have yet to get into it. So let's get into it. So, the first witchy tip that I definitely want to discuss is find out why witchcraft has called out to you, why you have started your craft, and be honest with yourself. Because you do not want to get into the craft and not be honest with yourself and kind of be like, well, these people or these witches don't agree with the reason why I'm joining, so I'm not going to do that. And then you just end up messing up the beauty of your personal craft. Because even if you join just to hex people, I know a lot of witches look down on that. But if that's why you joined, get into it. And then I always think that learning about witchcraft is a chain reaction. For example, if you start with astrology and you're just loving astrology then turns into the different star signs that then get into crystals and then gets into chakras, and you're going into incense and you find out about herbs, and it's just a chain reaction. So definitely learn as much as you can and just be honest with yourself, even if it's a dark side. Listen, we all do shadow work as well. There's shadow and light work. So the difference between that, for those that may not know, is that with shadow work, you kind of find out the dark sides, things that people don't like much about you. Like, let's say if you have a really bad attitude. If it's you, don't worry about it. Find out why you have a bad attitude, And if you find out it's something that you can't change, or if you want to change it, then you change it. If you don't, embrace it. You don't always have to succumb to people's likings. You are who you are. And that's the great thing about witchcraft, because there's no rules. You do what you have to do, and you do it well. Um, let's see. What's our next thing? And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be sure to get to you as soon as I can. And as soon as it pops up, because there's a bit of a delay within the live stream. So it's like you'll message me after I said something, but it'll take a while to register. So just bear with me, but I'll definitely come to your question as soon as I see it. Um, got really quiet. I guess the kids went back into their school. Yes, I live right next to the school. But let's see. Just making sure everything's around. Okay, cool. So next, we have find out the types of witches and witchcraft. Which type calls out to you and define your personality? Feel free to branch out in the future. So I have done a video on the types of witches and witchcraft. So if you're interested in that after the video, or even during it, if you want to leave, you can leave. It's up to you. Um, but I did do a video on that. So if you're interested, please go check it out. And I always say that learn about every one of them, because you want to see which one calls out to you. I personally was always a nature freak, so I kind of really went towards plants and herbalism. But like I had explained before, you can always try something and then branch out. Like if you're into astrology, you go into chakras, and it's a chain reaction. So don't be afraid if you say, okay, right now I'm just a crystal witch, but now I want to become an herbal witch. There's not a problem with that. That's why I personally define myself as an eclectic witch. Eclectic witches pick up and adopt different traits and different ideas from different kind of witches and different kind of even religion, because there's Wicca, paganism, they pick up little bits and pieces. I am not a religious type. I don't follow any specific religion, but I love the Wiccan holidays, kind of like Mabon, Litha, stuff like that. I really enjoy that, and it makes things more creative. I'm a very creative person. I personally love to just get anything that's around me, kind of like Tinkerbell. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I'm kind of childish sometimes, but I love the idea of Tinkerbell, where you can find anything in your surroundings and you tinker with it and you make something out of it. I've always been that kind of creative person. I look at anything that's around me and make it into something. Um, Next, grounding and centering spells. They are very, very important. And they're important because this helps you become a more calm and stable person. When you have control over your emotions, you have control over your power. That's very important. This is important because, kind of like if you were to watch any sort of film within magical properties, you always notice that people that live their whole lives as a normal person suddenly find out they have magic powers, and it usually happens when they're very upset, or they just have this extreme emotion that just makes them kind of go haywire. And that is because we all have magic within us, and you just have to discover it within yourself. Once you do that, you become a very, very powerful witch, and especially when you have control over your emotions and you create very high vibrations that go into your spells. And there is an actual science behind witchcraft for those that feel kind of like skeptical. Like, if they're like, okay, I have a desire to bring wealth into my environment, or I want more energy. You can't, people think that you can't just wish upon a star and then you're going to get that. That is not true. We pick up the energy of things that are around us, and then we turn that into the energy that we want. So we manipulate energies to manifest what it is that we want. And I've done a separate video on the science behind witchcraft, so definitely go check that out later as well. Um, I do plenty of videos. I'm telling you, if you haven't subscribed already, I highly recommend it, not for my sake, but for yours, for the simple fact that I love creating videos to help people learn as much as possible. So if you're one that loves to learn about witchcraft, this is your channel. This is all for you. So definitely go for it. Um, our next thing, we're going to be talking about meditation. So this helps you have a clear mindset and absorb the energies in your environment. Best to do this in nature, kind of like where I am in my backyard, and recharge your mana, aka magic. So, magic is something, like I said, it's just energy. So, when you are meditating, you are allowing any energy that's around you to your body's absorbing that. And having a clear mental state also helps before you do a spell because it allows you to have a clear mindset before going into a spell so you have a clear intention, and it also helps you to gather the energy needed for that spell. That's a lot of trash.
Yep, every bit.
Thank you. Sorry about that. That was my husband. um but yeah, meditation is just one of those things that's just very important, so I would definitely recommend you do it. It just helps a lot. And there's different ways of meditating as well. You don't have to be kind of like the monks that just sit in silence and just close their eyes and do whatever it is that they do. Meditation comes in many forms. It's just any way that helps relax you and clean your mind. So if you feel like listening to music while you're cleaning is the way to go, do it, because that's the way I do it. And I receive tons of messages from spirit guides while I'm doing that. Even if you feel like a nice calm bath or shower while doing it, it also works.
You lost chasing me and shit, man.
So, just whatever works for you, go for it. Um, Next, we have cleanse your space, self, and items. You do not want outside energies affecting your spells. By the way, if I keep looking down, I have my book of shadows here where I've written all the little tips. So don't think I'm being rude and just ignoring you. Um, I am just reading off of something I wrote down. But for one, it's very important. Okay, wasp, go away. Sorry. I've never had a wasp so close to me like that before. That was weird. Um, so cleanse your space, because if you cleanse your space, it just makes sure that nothing can end up penetrating your spells and it won't turn into something that you didn't want. You don't want negativity going into your spell, especially if you're doing a love spell and then that person that you're trying to get with ends up not liking you, or you get into that relationship and you find out it's toxic. There's just so much that can happen. Um, Make sure to cleanse yourself either by, it's just important to have clear intentions. So when you clean yourself off, if you just came out from outside, whether you were shopping or whatever the case may have been, it always allows you to clean off the bad energies you might have absorbed. If someone had a bad attitude, maybe brushed against your shoulder or just near you, and you're not properly protected, which protection is very important, it will just cause you to then absorb all the negative energies that you absorb from your environment. Um, Make sure to cleanse your items. You have stuff like maybe crystals or herbs or candles that you may be using in your practice. And it's best that you either use moon water, uh, any blessed water, really, incense, like smoke cleanse everything. Or you can even leave it under the moon to have it recharge and um, just cleanse it overall. Um, Next, we have practice protection spells. Everyone is vulnerable to hexes. You do not need to be a witch to hex people. This is very, very important. A lot of people think that witches are the only ones that hex. That is not true. If you are in an environment where you know that someone dislikes you And even your presence affects them, just them even thinking about, like, I wish you were fired if you're in a job environment, or I wish you get hit by a bus, or I really don't like you. All that hate, if you don't properly protect yourself, is going to attach itself to your aura, and then that's just gonna create this shield around you, and that shield only attracts negative energy, and that's kind of what hexes do. It just, any negative aspect is like known as bad luck, will just be attracted to you. And you want to make sure that doesn't happen, so definitely protect yourself. I've done a video on protection magic. So if you don't know how to protect yourself or what is needed, go check out that video. Um, Next, we have read and learn as much as possible. Cross reference, write everything down to help you memorize and pass down your knowledge, known as Book of Shadows, to your future children, friends, or whatever the case may be. Definitely cross reference, because if you find out that what you've been reading is completely wrong, you don't want to, end up practicing the wrong thing. So if you see that everyone is saying that a white candle is a substitution for anything, then it's right, pretty much. It works for everything. But if you're seeing that let me see, that obsidian is used for love, then you're seeing everywhere else that obsidian's actually used for banishment, for protection, and absorbing negative energies, and that's kind of what it's meant for. Um, and then the last one I'm going to share just for this video, because there's more videos I plan on doing, but just for the sake of this one. Um, Discover yourself, find out your shadow parts. Dark side that is usually unlike, for example, bad attitude, and find out. I kind of mentioned this before. Definitely discover yourself and your shadow aspects, because you need to know what you like, what it's just best to know how you are. And the more that you understand yourself, the more that you have control over your emotions and what happens in your future, the more you are capable to ground yourself. It's not okay to just be angry all the time and not even know why. So definitely just discover those aspects of yourself and just do as much as you can for yourself. This is your practice. Remember that. I always emphasize this. The craft is you. You are not the craft. Oh, good job. Okay. I'm almost done. Sorry about that again. I was planning on showing a lot of these things, but I was expecting a bit more people to kind of show up. Let me see. Hmm. I'm trying to see who else. There were so many people that needed my help, and I would have expected them to show up here. Because I bet you the moment that I get off of this live stream, everyone's going to start messaging me like, I need your help. I need tips. But, I mean, what can you do? But, I mean, that's okay. Hopefully that will help. Regardless, I just hope that this was helpful and that you guys at least enjoyed the video so far. And if not, that's okay too. Listen, let me know what I could do better, and I'll definitely try my best to do better. And just let me know. Um, I think that's all I should do for this video. Yeah, that might be what I'll do. Alright, that's fine. So, again, This has been another Crystallized Witchery video, and may you lovely gems continue to sparkle. It's always been my thing. All right. Love you all. And if you ever need me, message me. I'm on Facebook.